Palestine, several civilians were killed on Wednesday in an Israeli shelling that targeted the teleSUR refugee camp. In Argentina, a representative of the leftist Union for the Homeland Coalition held a meeting in Congress to discuss the ball's law, which seeks to eliminate electoral rights. And in Liberia, at least 15 citizens were killed due to a tanker truck explosion in Bon County in the center of the country. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll be with the news. Stay with us. Several civilians, mostly children and women, were killed and other injured on Wednesday in an Israeli shelling that targeted the teleSUR refugee camp in the central Gaza Strip. According to local sources, at least 7 civilians were killed and others were injured as a result of the occupation targeting of a house in the said camp, while others were injured in Israel shelling and other house in the Al-Sawiri area in the capital strip. The occupation also launched several raids on the city of Khan Yunis and on farmland north of the city of Rafah, south of the Strait. More than 21,000 civilians were killed, some 54,000 and thousands reported missing since the start of the Israeli aggressions on October 7th. In Palestine, denounced the world's inability to end the Israeli aggressions against the Gaza Strip, which calls into question the credibility of the international organizations. The authorities announced the collective punishment practiced by the Israeli occupation army against Gaza. They also regret that the international community has failed to stop the genocide and to guarantee the freedom of movement of the Palestinian citizens. In this regard, he argued the world and especially the United States to force Israel to stop the aggressions against the coastal enclave. Palestinian teachers in Gaza take initiative to educate children despite Israeli aggressions, destroying some 332 educational institutions. The Israeli side against the Gaza Strip limited the development of the lives of the Palestinians due to the destruction of houses, hospitals, government headquarters, and schools. In this context, teachers in Gaza took on attacks of educating children who cannot attend educational centers because they were displaced by violence or because their schools were destroyed.
Our students like the idea, and they are already attracted to continue. They always ask me when the lesson starts. Our duty towards them is to teach them. They have the right to study. Our students are not students of war. They are students of peace. Like the other children of the world, they have the right to study and not to live in this war environment. Today is the 81st day since the beginning of the war. Enough of massacres. Enough is enough. We have given a great number of martyrs, most of them children. We want everyone to intervene immediately and urgently and stop this war.
As soon as I heard that Master Tariq is coming to give us lessons, I went immediately and signed up for his class, because I want to grow and advance. For me, studying is something very big. I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. I want to fulfill my dream of growing, developing, and having several professions. This war affected me a lot, because it made me lose hope of becoming a doctor. Enough is enough. There are 81 days of war. We want peace. We want a permanent truce.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Wednesday compared Israel attacks in Gaza to Nazi treatment to the U.S. people and said Netanyahu is not different from Hitler. In a speech at a war ceremony on Wednesday, Erdogan also suggests the United States was complicit in the death of 20,000 people in Gaza for supporting Israel. Turkey is a member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. However, it is a supporter of a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestinian conflict and criticized in the strongest term Tel Aviv's air and ground attacks on Gaza.
For 80 days, we've watched all of humanity's values be killed before our very eyes. We've watched Israeli Nazi camps in the stadiums, right? What is this?
Stadyumlarda bunlar bize Hitler'i de aratacak.
How are you different from Hitler?
Bu
They will make us along for
yaptıklarının
Hitler. Is there
Hitler'den
anything
Not give up. We believe in the transcendence of stories and in the firmness of their walk, without lowering your hands and with your head held high, with the heart and the commitment in the skin, to show a fairer truth, where equality is real and not a piece of paper. teleSUR always gives you more.
Deep gazes filled with struggles and stories. Struggles that transcend generation. Know the deepest realities through its protagonists on teleSUR documentaries. Sunday. Only on teleSUR. Every year, thousands of people leave their homeland to reach new horizons. A reality of those people who struggle for their freedom. Know the diverse causes of those who
Welcome back to From the South. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador met a U.S. delegation led by Secretary of State Antony Blinken while arriving in Mexico City in hopes of tackling surging migrations, which has become a major political headache for President Joe Biden as it enters of the election year. The unusual trip by the top diplomat from the United States was abruptly scheduled as rival Republican Party President Biden to crack down on migrations as a condition for providing votes in Congress for one of his key priorities, supports for Ukraine. Speaking to reports earlier, AMLO said Mexico was helping a lot on addressing migration. Around 10,000 people without authorization are trying to cross the southern U.S. border each day, nearly double the number before the pandemic, with a new caravan of hundreds, even not dozens of people hitting by foot since the past weekend. And in Argentina, representative of the leftist Union for Homeland Coalition held a meeting in Congress this Wednesday to discuss the bus law promoted by the government of Javier Milei, which seeks to eliminate electoral rights and political participation. The bill includes modifications to the financings of political parties and eliminates sanctions for candidates who do not take part in the debate. The law also contains the assignment of powers from the National Congress to the National Executive Branch, which grants special powers to Milei until December 2025. For his part, President Milei indicated that if Congress does not support the proposal of transformation that he seeks to promote his government, he will call for a plebiscite. After the dialogue, members of the Union for Homeland issued a statement where they said, and I quote, "We express the importance of unity in our parliamentary spaces. We need to have an important legislative force to search for the consensus needed in the formations of majorities in Congress. That is the only way to make it clear that there is another path in Argentina." In another paragraph, they also state, "We express our rejection for the mega decree 70/2023 because it clearly violates congressional powers and undermines the division of powers and the functioning of the republic." They also considered the so-called bus law recently introduced in the Chamber of Representatives ratifies the president's pretension of having extraordinary powers and faculties, which are absolutely unconstitutional. The representative concluded that the governor and the parliamentary bloc of the Union for the Homeland will sustain the dialogue and join work to evaluate each political situation and agree on criteria for the parliamentary task to defend the nation, the provinces, and the municipalities. In this context, social organizations and labor unions in Argentina filed lawsuits against the decree of urgency and necessity pushed by President Javier Milei. The unions group in the General Labor Confederation gathered in Plaza Valle in the front of the court to file a complaint against the decree promoted by the Argentina president. The National Labor Court accepted the document but refused to issue a precautionary measure to suspend the validity of articles of the decree concerning the labor reform. According to figures from the Judicial Investigation Agency, Costa Rica will be going through its most violent year with a total of 900 homicides in 2023. Central American countries registered a 41% increase in violence compared to 2022. According to the authorities in the country, the wave of homicides is caused by drug trafficking, of criminal scores, control of localities, and legitimization of capitals. In view of the facts, a commission with representatives of the powers of the state's authority analysis of the draft law on security matters to discuss with Congress. In Bolivia, all state universities have joined forces to support the population and housing census to be carried out in March of next year. The preparation of the survey is at a stage of recruiting volunteers who will apply the 59-question survey. Our correspondent in La Paz, Freddy Morales, brings us more information.
The state major university of San Andrés de la Paz, the largest in the country, added its support to the national population and housing census to be conducted next year, and committed to actively participate in the current phase of volunteer recruitment, which will apply the survey.
The major university of San Andrés and other universities were committed to a policy, in this case the NIS, to carry out the census that would allow us to define public state policies based on transparent, precise information that will be gathered through the census.
The major university of San Andrés de la Paz has the largest number of students, with more than 90,000. Part of the volunteers who will carry out the survey will come from this university.
The universities are important for their participation in this event. The National Statistics Institute does the census, but it does it with the whole population and with the students who are the ones called to be able to do an investigation that will allow them to find the families and know how we are.
There are 10 state universities in Bolivia, and all of them have committed their support in recruiting volunteers to carry out the survey on the day of the census. Agreements have also been signed with private universities and other institutions that call on their students to actively participate in the census.
It is important to highlight this agreement because we are already close to 300,000 volunteer census takers registered nationwide, representing more than 42% of the established goal. We are sure that with this participation of the Higher University of San Andrés, we will reach the goal we have set for peace and for the country and guarantee the quality of this census process.
The Statistics Institute have proposed to recruit 700,000 volunteers, among young students in the last years of high school and university students and teachers in urban and rural areas. That figure is 30% more than the minimum required to conduct the survey on March 23 this year, but it was decided to meet it to avoid setbacks at the time of the census, which will take place 11 years after the previous national population and housing census.
Freddy Morales, teleSUR, Bolivia.
Drivers in the UK that have been stranded by heavy snowfalls caused by the storms that hit the country. Police in Scotland warned of further disruptions, yellow water, so warnings remain in force. Some Gary has caused severe disruptions past Christmas travelers across the territory as flights, trains and boats were cancelled on one of the busiest tourist states in the country. Around 18,500 Scottish properties have been left without power due to the storm-aided conditions that have been more severe than authorities predicted. In Thailand, officials said on Wednesday that flooding in southern was killed at least 6 people and displaced thousands. The official report that flooding started on December the 22nd and affects more than 70,000 households in the provinces of Satun, Choklat, and Narathiwat. In this regard, the deputy governor of the province, Pechan Nautni, highlighted among the deaths were an 89-year-old woman, a child under the age of 3, and one person was still missing in Narathiwat. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to join us on our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience, you can scan the QR code on the screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Constant new coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean, as well as the rest of the world. Stay connected and informed with teleSUR. When financial break, don't go away. Welcome back. Russian President Vladimir Putin hailed the trade growth with India as he met with New Delhi's Foreign Minister in Moscow on Wednesday. The Russian president said the trade growth between both nations over the last 9 months have already exceeded the entire growth of last year. On the other hand, Indian Prime Minister highlighted the trade processes and announced it had exceeded $50 billion.
We are very pleased to note that despite all the turbulence in the world, relations with our traditional friends in Asia, with India, the Indian people, are developing progressively. Our trade turnover is growing for the second year in a row and at a steady pace. This year at a pace even greater than last year. I don't remember the exact percentage for last year, but in the 9 months of this year we exceeded the entire growth volume of last year. It is well known this comes mostly from energy carriers.
And the government of China demands the United States stop sending arms to Taiwan and intervene in the elections in the region. Shen Binhua, the Chinese spokesman for the States Consul Taiwan's Affairs Office, expressed Beijing's condemnations of Washington's wrongdoing and sternly opposed the negative content related to Taiwan in the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2024, which was signed into law. The official reminded the United States that the Taiwan issue is a purely internal affair of China and therefore does not admit outside interference. The Chinese government hopes to promote comprehensive cooperation through the implementations of the Belt and Road project everywhere on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the initiative. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said that the 10th anniversary will be a new opportunity for promoting the cooperation and quality of the Belt and Road, while highlighting the process of the project during the last decades through multilateral integration. She also noted that the third Belt and Road Forum held in October 2023 marked a good start to the movement, to the development of high quality and cooperation. In Liberia, at least 15 citizens were killed and 36 injured after the explosion of a tanker truck carrying gasoline. The truck exploded on the town of Tutota in Bond County, on the center of the country. According to reports from police authorities, the explosion occurred after the vehicle crashed and locals residents come to remote fields. Health officials report that several of the injured are in serious conditions, including children and a pregnant woman. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima visited on Wednesday a camp for displaced people in northern Plateau State and spoke to survivors facing violence in the area. According to survivors and local officials, at least 140 people were killed by gunmen who attacked remote villages over 2 days in the north central state. On the other hand, the governor Caleb Mufwan said that assailants targeted 17 communities during the senseless and provoked attack on Saturday and Sunday, during which most houses in the areas were burned down.
We have seen in this recent tragedy in the past few days is a tragedy of enormous proportion. I can't imagine the inhumanity that has been displayed when a human being can see a helpless child and shoot a gun. This is wicked, and I can't just imagine it. I can't wrap my head around it.
When one community bleeds, the entire nation feels the pain. The pain we feel now transcends ethnicity or religion, geography or politics. The grief that binds us is a testament to our shared humanity, not differences.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also use us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English and from the South, Omar Marrero, thank you for watching.